Oh.
Hello and welcome to a new Let's Play with me, Matthew Caddis, aka Puggy. And yes, you can tell I'm excited for this one because I'm playing Banjo Kazooie. Yes, the game I consider the best platformer on the N64 and probably one of Rareware's greatest platformers as well. Yes, I like this more than Super Mario 64, and so yeah, and this is, had Rareware kept making games like this, I think I would have enjoyed it quite a bit. But, sadly, they didn't. Because of the aforementioned Microsoft buyout and everything. Anyway, here we meet the, villainess of the game, Gruntilda Wrinklybunion. Yes, that's her name, or Grunty for short, or Gruntilda. She's a witch, obviously, and apparently she's playing the part of the evil queen from Snow White. Yes. The other thing you'll know about Banjo Kazooie is that all of the character things are in sound bites because of the fact the N64 was a cartridge-based system. It couldn't handle that many voice files. Although I remember Rugrats game doing that. Anyway, basically the story is Grunty here wants to be pretty, and so she seeks out Tootie, who is apparently the fairest maiden of them all. Apparently, yeah. And speaking of, this is Tootie, who is actually Banjo's sister. Yep. And indeed, she's come around to see her, well, lazy brother, in her own words. And this character here is Bottles the Mole. Yes, yeah, he does serve a purpose, does this mole. But, yeah, Banjo definitely is lazy. He spends most of his time sleeping, alongside his rather impatient breegull friend Kazooie. And here comes, yeah, apparently Grunty's main thing is to actually steal her looks. Yep, forget using apples, just stealing her looks using science or magic in this case, because a witch, as I say, would work. Well, I don't think it's the Death Star. No. Come to me, my little pretty. Okay, is she trying to sound like Maleficent now? Seriously. Yeah, and another thing, Rareware likes their quirky sense of humor in these games. Seriously. Even poking fun at other, dare I say, things, which kind of came to a head with the likes of Conker's Bad Fur Day, but, yeah. Anyway, Tootie's been kidnapped. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Of course there's trouble. There always is in one of these platformers from, well, the late 90s in this one. It was released in 1998. Anyway, here's Bottles the Mole, and apparently, I'm better than you can, Goggle Boy. Yeah, Kazooie is very rude, and I love her for it. Seriously. Anyway, basically what Bottles will do here is teach us some basic moves. Spiral Mountain here, which is the first sort of world in inverted commas, is where you'll be able to be taught the various moves Banjo and Kazooie will be taught by Bottles, or you can just do it yourself, because I played this game a load of times, even doing a Let's Try to play because I sucked at the boss. I played the original N64 version, and yes, I am playing the Xbox 360 version, which in terms of control is a lot better than using the original N64 controller, in my humble opinion, seriously. And there's a couple of other things that I like better about this version, which I will get into when we get into it. But it is worth your time exploring Spiral Mountain here, just to for getting the honeycombs here, because the empty honeycombs, if you collect, I think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, you will be able to get an extra unit of health. So it is worth your time going around here. So yeah. As for the abilities, you have the Flip Flap, which Kazooie can hover in the air, giving you a bit more air time for a few more seconds. You saw there Banjo's rolling move. That doesn't always work, however. The other move, and also there's another honeycomb on top of the tree, which you wouldn't think to get on top of. There's also another honeycomb behind or empty honeycomb, should I say, behind the waterfall. So yes, I am going to go behind there and get the honeycombs there. And then, indeed, yeah. And yeah, I also love the music in both the N64 games. Again, they are done by Grant Kirkhope, who I consider one of the greatest video game composers to ever do video game music, seriously. Not least for his usage of key changes and everything. And yes, this game does have lives as well. There's one hidden behind the waterfall there, which is weird because the sequel Banjo Tooie does not, apparently. Yes, apparently Rareware did away with them come the next game. So yeah, so I'm still short a couple of things. In this area we can find some mounds of dirt, and indeed there is a way to do so by using the beat barge. Yes, we don't do the ground pound move that we will later learn. I think that's in Mumbo's Mountain. I'm not sure. So yeah, the beak barge I am not going to use much at all. There's the next honeycomb on the one on the far right there. So I have 2 more extra honeycombs to find before I want to go into Gruntilda's lair. Yeah, seriously. And we have a giant cabbage here. Well, defeating it will give us the next honeycomb there by using the rat-a-tat-rap, which is done by pressing the A button, and on the Xbox controller it's the X button, on the N64 controller it's the B button. So yeah, and so now I want to go over here and go underwater and find the last honeycomb, and that will give us our first unit of health. Yes. Collecting the extra honeycombs is helpful against various enemies in this game and whatnot. So yeah. So now that we've got all the honeycombs, I say we go up the actual spiral center of Spiral Mountain towards Gruntilda's lair, where of course Tootie has been kidnapped. Yes, it is that. Yeah. Bottle boy, eh? Yeah. As I say, Kazooie is rude. Anyway, that being said, let's cross the bridge into Gruntilda's lair. And yes, I will note the Gruntilda's theme is... just look at Gruntilda! She's just squashed in there, seriously! I just love how cartoony this is here. And that green-looking... Igor-ish character is Klungo. Yes, and he does behave like an Igor Seriously. Yeah. You think this does give you quite a bit of an imperative to save her. But like all of these sort of platformers, that we will have to go through a fair few worlds in order to get to Tootie. And up there is the first of many collectibles in this game. This is a Jiggy. And Jiggies are pretty much essential in order to, open new worlds, if you know what I mean, because, yeah, another thing of note, we cannot get up that ridge just yet. That will happen in time, in fact, one of the best moves in the game, in my opinion. But there's the first world, Mumbo's Mountain. However, it's not open, so what we have to do is head to the right and go over to this jigsaw puzzle and place that Jiggy we just found, indeed, open it up there. Yes. In order to do so, you'll have to press the A button. Nothing too hard. It's not like the Jiggy Wiggy Temple in Banjo Kazooie. But we'll get to that. Anyway, Mumbo's Mountain is now open. So, yes, it was, but I guess, but as I say, Jiggy Wiggy Temple. Anyway, this is Mumbo's Mountain, the first world, and this is where the gameplay really comes into play here. Firstly, we have these, the musical notes. They are essential also for opening doors in Gruntilda's lair. There are 100 in each world, and there is something with them that I will go over after I've talked about this. The Jinjos. There are 5 of them in each world, and if you collect all of them, you'll get a Jiggy. So yeah, so they are blue, green, forgotten. But there are 5 of them basically. So yeah, collecting them in each world will give you a Jiggy. So yeah, and yes, the Jinjos do play a huge part in the game. Both in this game and the sequel Banjo Kazooie. But anyway, going back to the notes, I did say there are 100 of them in this world. In the original N64 game, if you left a world, you'd have to collect them all over again, seriously. Which made the game quite a bit of a chore. Especially if you go from this game into Banjo Kazooie. Seriously, because in Banjo Kazooie you get to keep the notes. Thankfully, in the Xbox 360 version, it seems Microsoft decided to let you keep all of the notes you get in each world, so you don't have to go back to find them, which is good, especially if you want to beat Gruntilda. You will want to get as many notes as you can. In fact, I do intend to get 100 notes on each world, just for the fact of the bonuses you get for fighting Gruntilda at the end of the game. But, yeah. That being said, yeah, I am glad I am playing the thing, otherwise I'd have to go through multiple takes because I don't like staying in each of the worlds. And what do you know? Here's our next Jiggy, right in the middle of a Stonehenge-esque place here. There are 10 Jiggies in each world, so, yeah, I will certainly get that. So that is Jiggy number 2. Well, the first one in this one, apparently. And apparently the achievement for this is called Get Jiggy. Well, you can't but get Jiggy with it. Yeah, it doesn't sound right coming from me, but, yeah. And we will get the talent trot here. In this one, you'll have to press the right trigger and then the left trigger. Yeah, because the C buttons are not a thing, of course, on the Xbox 360 controller, but the talent trot will allow us to get over huge ridges like the one we saw earlier, and indeed one there. At the end of this area, there is another Jinjo, the orange Jinjo. So, yeah. And that's another thing, you also lost the Jinjos originally if you left a world, such as Mumbo's Mountain, of course. So yeah, this game is made a lot more manageable by the fact that you get to keep your notes and Jinjos. And the other thing is the controls. Yes, you remember how much I hated using the think in my Let's Try to Play originally of this game, and I just gave up on fighting Gruntilda at the very end of this game. That will not be a problem in the Xbox 360 version. We will need, however, another ability to deal with Juju, the gigantic totem pole. And here is a Mumbo token. That will serve its purpose a bit later. I'm not going to go over it right now because there's another ability over here. So yes. So now the Beat Buster. And this is pretty much Kazooie's ground pound. Yep. Well, wait until Banjo Tooie. Banjo will start using you like a drill there, Kazooie. Seriously. However, the Beat Buster is needed to break open these huts. Some of which contain some notes, some of which contain apparently we collect enough notes to break the first door down. I'm not going to bother with that for now because I like exploring the world in Banjo Kazooie. Also, these blue eggs also serve a purpose, but we'll need to find bottles again to learn that ability as well. Seriously. And yes, it does tie into Juju over there. So let's ground pound and, oh boy, an enemy. Right, in that case, I can't even aim properly with the camera. Again, the right stick works for your camera in this game. It was the C buttons in that one. And inside that one is the green Ginger. So let's see, and in here, a 1-up. Okay, and what about in the last hut? I want to see there, seriously. And the next Jiggy is in there, very nice. Yes, I do like the Jiggy theme as well, seriously. Even if they did kind of speed it up in Banjo Tooie. And what do you know? A third Jiggy! Yeah, the Jiggies in the first world, fairly easy to find. Compare that with something like, well, some of the later levels in Banjo Kazooie, yes, but Banjo Tooie, which decided to make it more like Donkey Kong 64 in that regard. Yes, seriously. Although we didn't have to worry about getting, unlike in Donkey Kong 64, we didn't have to worry about getting those bloody rareware coins or Nintendo coins just to get to the boss. At least that was something, so at least I can say that about Banjo Tooie. But yeah, I'm already up to 69 notes, seriously. And yes, I do leave this world, and when I leave it, I will keep 69 notes, which I've already mentioned, but yeah. Anyway, I guess that is a good place to stop. So on the next episode, I think I will explore... Oh, wait, no, Pink Jinjo. Almost miss you there, buddy. That leaves only the yellow Jinjo, but yeah, I think I will leave this world and maybe go to the thing. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. And no, if we try and use this Talon Trot to get up there, we won't be able to. There is a way of getting... there will be a Jiggy that appears on top of there. But I will do that in the... I don't know in the next episode or not, but yeah, there is something else we'll need to find in order to do that. But I'll see you then. Goodbye!